And the children?
Next door neighbour's looking after them for me for a couple of hours.
Good. I'm afraid I'll have to hover about, but I can see all right from out here.
Thanks, Miss Clark. We really do appreciate this, you know.
That's right.
Have you got it?
Jane.
Have you?
Yeah, but...
Well, let's have it then,
Jane,
quick.
this is stupid.
What is?
This whole idea, it's mad.
You do want me back with you and the kids, don't you?
Of course I do, but not like this.
You
I mean...
promised, then. Don't let me down now.
We'll never get away with it.
We will if you do it the way I said.
What if you get caught? What if I get caught?
We won't.
What will happen to the kids? Have you thought about that?
I've got to get out of here.
What about the flat?
A council tip.
What for furniture?
That load of rubbish. I told you, get one of those second-hand furniture blokes around, sell the lot. We'll need the money. We've got to have that.
Where will we live?
Anywhere. Brighton, Liverpool. You can rent a furnished flat quite cheap up there. Honestly, it'll be okay. Then if you let me down, that's it.
What do you mean?
We're finished. I won't come back to you when I do get out. Okay? Now.
Why they search you?
Probably. Don't worry, I'll cope with that.
Jane, please.
Oh, don't, Den.
No, Jane. Jane!
It's only a little kiss.
Get off. About that bird in your Peter.
Bella.
She gonna help?
Don't worry about her. She'll help.
I know you don't fancy the idea, Millie, but these new hostels are really very nice, aren't they, Mrs. Armitage?
Oh, yes, you'll have a nice clean bed to sleep in. Come and go as you please.
I'll talk to the superintendent. I'm sure he can find a nice little job for you
know,
around
Mum.
the place.
I likes me freedom.
Freedom? You spend most of your time here.
When I'm on the outside...
Dossing in doorways, not eating, drinking meths. I don't call that freedom, Millie. What is it, Miss Braxton?
I think the governor should see this at once, Chief.
Well, you think it over, Millie. I have another word with you before you go out.
All right, Mum.
The censor has just found this in the letterbox.
Isabel Coyne and the art teacher are having it off. And he's taking letters out for her as well. I think we should see our art teacher as soon as possible, Mrs. Armitage.
I'll call the education officer.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sewell, but couldn't you simply take my word for it?
In the circumstances, that would be difficult.
I'd like to, but I can't ignore the situation.
But there isn't any situation.
But you have admitted taking letters from this girl, Mr. Jenkins.
Yes,
and
but
it is
that's
possible,
all...
is it not, that if she asked you to take other letters out from other people, to other people, you may well do so.
Certainly not.
Mrs. Armitage is quite right. Security is an important issue, Mr. Jenkins. However, I am prepared to take your word for it. But in the meantime, I must ask you to withhold your services until Mr. Sewell and I have come to some final decision about your future.
And Isabel? It's all she's got to keep her going.
But we shan't stop her painting. You must understand that to a person in prison who feels lonely and rejected, a situation like this can become exaggerated. It takes on a meaning that doesn't really exist.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Boswell, but with all due respect, I don't see it that way at all. If someone like Isabel feels lonely and rejected, surely it can only make her feel more so if she's denied a friendship.
I know it seems like a harsh decision. Frankly, it's not one I like taking.
The official view.
The sensible one?
I told you, governors never stick up for you. It's all a con, love.
It's so unfair.
He told him about the letters. I mean, that's like grassing, isn't it? Just playing games with you. Like the rest of them in here.
I've written to the courts, Mary, supporting Dr. May's recommendations.
A nut house?
No, Mary, a psychiatric hospital, where you'll receive the kind of help that we're not equipped to give you here. I've also arranged for legal aid so that your case can be reconsidered, which could mean that your sentence is commuted to one of, say, probation.
But I've got nowhere to live.
Well, I'm sure we can arrange something.
And it won't be an institution again.
All right.
Okay, Mother, I'll get it. Yes?
My name's Dennis Brogan. Can I see your mother, please? It's very urgent.
Mr. Brogan, he says he knows you.
Brogan?
Yes, Jane Brogan's husband. Look, I'm sorry to butt in like this. I just didn't know what else to do.
How'd you know where I lived?
I followed you from the prison.
Ah.
I came by bus. Is it about Jane?
Yeah.
You should have rung the prison, made an appointment.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just didn't think I could have changed my mind, you know?
All right, Paul. Well, you better sit down. Tell me what it's all about.
Bread. All right, you two. Up and get your kits packed. Take them down to the block.
Come on.
I suppose they'll have to go before the visiting committee.
It's too serious for me to deal with.
And the husband is liable for prosecution.
Yes, but as he told us about it, I doubt if they will prosecute.
It looks as though the coin girl had become completely dependent on young Jenkins. It's a pity he had to go.
What else could I do in a situation like that? I know that it was Jane Brogan who wrote that anonymous letter. It'll be very difficult to prove.
What on earth made them think they could get away with it?
Dreams, Mr. Red. Things that keep us all going at times.